Okay, good morning Year 7, this is Mr. Winter. I'm just going to show you guys how to basically design your Steady Hand Game backboard using CAD. Now, you should have learned already today, this is your main objective. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. That basically means drawing anything using the computer to help you, which you'll find is far superior. And what you're going to be doing in today's lesson is starting to design a backboard for your Steady Hand Game. So your teacher should have shown you what this part will become. This is basically just a decorative bit made out of plywood. We're going to use a CAM, Computer Aided Manufacture laser cutter machine, to cut all of this out of 4mm plywood and to cut the holes and to engrave an outline that you can then decorate and paint. Right, and this will make a really nice quality box. So hopefully your teacher will have already explained to you that these colours are important. Black will be cut, blue will also be cut, but cut first, and red will be engraved. You must use these colours as I show you in the video, and you must include all of those holes that are stated down there. Okay, so we've got a 2.5mm radius hole for the LED that's going to light up when you lose the game, 3.5mm hole for the switch to reset the game, and then these two little holes here are going to be where the track that you loop around fits into. Okay, hopefully your teacher's been through that with you already. Anyway, right, how to use the program. Well, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to browse to the student drive. So you do that by going to My Computer. It'll look a bit different on your machine, but you want Student M Drive, you want Tech, so I just pressed T on my keyboard for a shortcut. So Student Drive, Tech, and then you want Year 7, I'll just find it, Year 7 Steady Hand Game CAD, that folder there. In there you will find a template, load that up, and it will look a little bit like this. If it doesn't load when you open it, by the way, as sometimes happens, what I need you to do instead is to just load 2D Design first, which is this program here. Load the program and instead open it from within the program. Okay? There we go. Happy with that. Alright, good. So once you've got it loaded, immediately go and save it to your documents. This is really important because otherwise you're actually trying to save it to the student drive, which you can't do because you don't have permission. So File, Save As, and then go to your documents, make yourself a folder maybe called Year 7 Technology, and then save it as, I don't know, Joe Blogs, whatever your name is, CAD Steady Hand Game Design. Okay, so make sure you've saved it in your documents before you do anything else. I guarantee there'll be one of you that forgets to do that. If that's you, do it now. Yes, you, I'm talking to you. Make sure you save it. Good. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, rewind the video and listen again, but save it. Good. Anyway, right, how do we do this? Well, the first thing to remember is, as it says on here, this green area, customize only within this green area. You're not allowed to make your design any larger than this green area, and you can't cut out any parts below here in this black zone. Alright, this black zone is very important because this is where the backboard and the circuit board will be hidden, so we don't want to cut any holes in here because you'll see them. Okay, so a bit like the example here, you'll see this bottom bit, you can engrave on it and drill holes in it, but you just can't cut out an outline into it. Right, the first thing we want to do then is maybe, I'm going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you how to make an interesting shape quite quickly and easily with various tools. Then I'm going to show you how to import a design off the internet and draw around that. Okay, so the first one you can do is Path Tool. Alright, that is found over here. Make sure you have Step Lock turned on and not Grid Lock, so it's Step Lock you want. Make sure this thing here is also turned off. Okay, so turned off is when it's not pressed down. Now, Path Tool's dead easy. You can kind of just click, click, and you can make yourself, and the more clicks you do, you can kind of draw yourself a customized shape. Okay, so that'd be one way of doing it. Now we've got a few things to fix if I was to use that as my method. If I was to have a look down here, and I can zoom in by clicking the plus up here, by the way, it's clear that this black line is not joined up, so I might go and get my line tool here and join it across like that. Now don't worry that they overlap at the moment because I'm going to show you how to fix that. Remember I told you you can't go outside the border, so we need to delete this little portion sticking out here. The next tool you want to use, it's very useful, to get rid of that sticky out bit is under here. So you go to delete any, but hold down the button on your mouse and select the second one, delete part of an object. This allows you to snip and snip. You can see there where lines overlap, like so. Sometimes you have to click a couple of times, right? So that's how I could make my outline and how I could make it join up. Right, that's one way of doing an outline. I'll just delete that now. Another way you could do it is make it from what's called primitive shapes. So you could, for instance, draw, I'm just going to draw a bunch of squares. What I'm going for here is like a kind of skyscraper background. I'm going to draw some lines across them like that. This might all make more sense in a minute. And join them together by using my delete part tool. Okay, so I could click, 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 click everywhere the lines overlap. Doesn't matter if you get rid of your background now. Okay, so there we go. You can see I've taken some primitive shapes and turned them into a nice interesting background, right? So that's another thing we could do. Just to show you that same process again, really here you want to experiment, okay? So I'm starting to lose my border here, but I can roughly see where it is. You've got all sorts of tools. Look, if you click and hold on any of these, you'll find more options. Generally the first one is the one you want, so you've got, there we go, rectangles. So I could draw a combination of circles. This is all just for ideas at the moment, okay? You're the designer. And now I can't go any further than here, so I draw a line, get my trim tool, and then snip away where everything overlaps. Okay, so I hope you're getting the idea. So that's one way you could make a nice single outline. Now the thing is, it has to be one continuous outline whatever your design is, right? Like this here. The laser cutter will follow with its laser beam this black path. So if you had left one of these circles here like that, then you'd actually end up with 1, 2, 3, 4 different pieces of wood, right? And actually what would be left behind, that bit would fall out, your design would look like that when it was finished, right? So you need to be a bit careful. Hopefully your teachers explain to you the importance of having one continuous outline. Right, anyway, the final one and the most impressive one is we're going to talk about how to get maybe an interesting outline like this, like the Bart Simpson, okay? I will show you how to get the image in, and then we'll show you how to draw around it. Okay, so best way is to go on the internet straight off the bat. A bit slow on my computer, and go to images. You're the designer here, so something appropriate and something that you think would appeal to kids or the kind of people that are going to play a steady hand game. Something that's sensible and not rude or offensive to anyone as well would be good. But for instance, I'm going to type in, let's do Batman logo, just because I've done this in year 8 as well. Right, now what you're looking for is a really simple background image. Okay, now this one strikes my eye. I quite like that. I like that as an idea for an outline. Kind of looks like Batman himself. But what you're looking for is just simple colours. Not if it's got loads of images on it or lots of different colours like this little one here or that one, it won't come out well. So this would be perfect candidate. So you can right click, copy that, and go to 2D design and paste it in. Okay. Now don't worry about the size of it for now, because we'll adjust that in a minute. But this next step is very important. What you're going to do is you're going to go to select your picture, go to bitmaps, vectorize bitmap, click on your picture. This little window should appear. Now these settings are really important. Make sure you choose monochrome, and we're going to choose the colour red because we're going to engrave it. Okay. Now what you can do here with this little bar is drag it left and right, and you'll see that changes the intensity of the picture. If you go too far one way, it gets really blurry, so you want to adjust that until you're kind of happy with the definition. Click OK, and click OK again. Right, that's turned that into something the laser cutter can recognise, but it's still not quite ready. Okay, we need to resize it. Now something I should have mentioned earlier, you select objects with the arrow key. You can resize by dragging this corner. If you hold shift on your keyboard while you drag that corner, everything stays in proportion. Okay. The middle square allows you to move things into position. This little circle on the side allows you to rotate things. Alright. so I don't really want to rotate mine. This guy at the top flips the image back to front, and this one flips it up and down. This one here makes an instant copy, so say you wanted two, I don't know why you'd want two Batman, I don't, but that'll do the job. Okay, so get it to the right size that's going to fit in your green zone that you're allowed to edit. And now we need to change it to look like this. We just want a series of outlines, alright? It wouldn't be, we're just using the engraving to outline the Batman, not burn the whole thing in. If you send it to the technician like this, he won't make it. So to do that, select your image, go to Fill, up the top, and choose No Fill. Click Apply, click OK. That you will see has made a nice red outline of the Bat logo that I want. That's good to go. All I've got to do now is drag it into position, so I think I'm going to bring it down a little bit more because I was a little bit outside my bounds. And that's the bell. Brilliant timing. And all I'm going to do now is use my path tool like I showed you earlier, and I'm just going to draw roughly around my Batman design here. Okay. Now what I'm decided actually is I just want Batman, I'm going to go for a more line design, I want it angular, but you decide what looks cool, because there's no way I'm actually going to be able to draw the whole of Batman as an outline on there. So I'm just going to do it very roughly like this, and if you remember, use our delete part tool, delete the overlaps. Sometimes if lines overlap but don't appear to meet, you need to draw another one if it deletes the part you wanted to keep. Okay, and I can get rid of that green line now. So that's my outline. The only thing I've got left to add on now are some holes, and these are dead easy to do. Two of them have already been made for you, so I've already made these, the two 1mm radius holes for the track. You may decide to move them down a little bit. In fact, actually no, just leave them where they are, we're not going to mess with that. It's better that they are where they are. But what you might want to do is choose where the LEDs go. So I'm going to draw two circles now. One of them needs to have a radius of 2.5, and that's for the LED, and one has a radius of 3.5. So we do that by going to the circle tool, click and drag. Now get the arrow tool and select the circle, and down here you'll see you've got this little thing, property. Click property, we're going to type a radius of 2.5 mm. Make sure it says mm. Click update and OK. Alright, you can now drag that and put that hole wherever you want for your LED. However, as I said to you earlier, you'll notice anything in blue needs to be cut first. Holes should be cut before the outline in case it falls into the machine. So we want to colour that blue. So we do that by selecting the circle, going up to colour here, where it says line, the one next to it, colour, choose blue. Okay, so we'll do that again for the switch hole. So the switch was 3.5mm, so we get the circle, draw it, select it, property, 3.5mm, click update and OK. Need to change it to blue, so select it, choose colour, blue, and drag that wherever you want your reset switch to be. Okay, so I'll leave that up to you, but that's the basics of how you do your design. Now obviously I'm hoping you guys will do something far more interesting than that. Straight away I'm looking at this and thinking, oh, I could curve these edges. Okay, you know, that might make it look a little bit more professional, make it a bit safer as well. You might even want to do some more cutouts yourself, so you could kind of, don't really know what I'm doing here. Alright, but there's nothing to stop you doing another hole within inside your shape like that, and then choose that, select the colour of blue. Alright, and then you'll be left with a kind of an air vent, if you like, a hole in your design there. But make sure as a minimum you've got an LED hole, you've got your switch hole, and you've got this. Okay, good. Make sure you save it regularly obviously, and when you save it as your name and your teacher name. So it would be Joe Bloggs, Mr. Winter, and if you know your class name, even better. Alright, that will help the technician put them in the right place where they need to go. Okay, the final thing you'll need to do, and we'll probably do this lesson too, is we're going to save a picture of this and explain what we've done. So press print screen on your keyboard, PRTSC. If you're in the Mac room, I'm not sure how to do that. You might just have to use the snipping tool. But take a picture of this, and you're going to put it into a PowerPoint document, something like this, and then Miss will explain to you what she wants you to annotate and add on there. Okay, so crop yourself a picture in. This is basically our evidence that you did the design and the stuff that you need to do. Okay, there we go. Right, and I'll leave it down to Miss to explain to you how to annotate that, and she'll probably show you an example. Right, but you basically got to explain all your design features and what you've done, get that saved. You've effectively got 2 or 3 lessons to finish this. Right, one other thing I should have mentioned actually, back to when you draw the circles, I'd like you all to check this for me. Some of you, no matter how hard you try, you draw a circle, you go to properties, and I tell you to type 2.5 millimeters. But you actually type 2.5 meters because you forget the second M. If I click OK, my circle appears to disappear, but if I zoom out with my little minus key, what you'll actually see is it's drawn a huge circle around your whole object. So before you save this and send it to the technician, can you zoom out and check you've not drawn any massive circles around your design? If you do that, it causes a problem with the laser cutter, because the laser cutter is only about the size of this sheet, and it tries to move 2 meters off to the left or right, and obviously it can't do that because the machine's not big enough, and it basically messes the machine up. So if you've done that by accident, zoom out, check, delete it. Okay, excellent. I selected it and pressed delete on the keyboard to get rid of that. Excellent. Alright, that's pretty much it for the basics. Go and have a play now. Once you've had a play, or if you want to continue watching the rest of the video, I'm just going to show you another more elaborate design with some inside and outside cuts for those of you that want to push yourselves a little bit further. Okay. Alright, so for this final extension bit, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've got a different Batman symbol this time, but I want this to be my whole design. So same process, I'll do this a bit quicker now. Bitmaps, vectorize, monochrome, make sure you make it red, click OK, drag that until we're happy, click OK, click OK. All good. Right, fill, no fill, apply, click OK. Good. Right, now what I want is, I don't actually want this engraved, so I want to make it part of the design. You'll see where I'm going with this in a second. So the way I'm going to do that, I want to keep this bat shape in the middle, and I want to make this ring part of the outside. So I'm going to first of all select my design, right click, explode, continue. That will allow me to pick the individual parts, as you can see. Now this bit's going to be cut first, that's internal, so I'm going to colour it blue. Okay. This bit will also be cut, you'll see where I'm going with this in a second. This bit's going to become part of the outline, so I'm going to colour it black. And I'm going to take my line tool and I'm going to join from the edges of my work to the bat logo like that. I'm then going to trim away part of it. Now I must emphasise, this is for people that are really trying to push themselves a little bit further, okay? This is, unless you understand what I'm doing here, I wouldn't worry about it, I'd go and do a simpler one. Right, now the problem at the moment, if I cut everything in black and blue, this blue inner Batman design will fall out. It's not attached to the outer ring, okay? So what I need to do is put some little support struts in, and if you don't understand what I'm doing here, then no offence, but you probably shouldn't be doing this yourself, okay? If you do understand where I'm getting at, and I'll try and laser cut one of these to show you, or that Miss can show you, you'll see what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is, I've just drawn some weird random lines there. I'm going to get my delete part of the line tool, and I'm going to snip away these bits here where they overlap. Hopefully, you've got to think a bit carefully about which ones you get rid of. Hopefully this is, undo. Be careful, by the way, you only get one undo here. By the way, when I do undo, you can go edit, undo, or I'm just hitting Control Z on the keyboard, which is the shortcut for it. There we go. Alright, now to be honest, if I colour that whole thing black now, That'll probably make a bit more sense to your eyes. Alright, so I don't know if you can see what's going to happen there. You're going to have the bat logo held onto this ring shape, but this bit here and this bit here will be cut out. There'll be holes, so they need to be coloured blue now, really. Okay, so what I should do, an easy way to do that, select everything, hold down shift and deselect the outside, change the colour of all the inside bits blue. Okay, so we've got a bat logo on the inside, we've got my outline around there. All I've got to do now is put my two holes back for my switch and my LED. Okay, I'm going to put my switch down there and my LED. Let's put it off to the wingtip. Alright, so that's just a slightly more advanced design. I really want to see lots of creativity from you. What happened last year is loads of Year 7s just really boring. They just all went and made Bart Simpson because they had no imagination whatsoever. I want to see that you guys have thought about this, think about your design, think about what will look good, try different things as well. Don't just settle for the first thing you make. I want you to make 3 or 4 different ideas until you get one that you're really happy with.